Take a look at the map. It seems insignificant. A narrow strip of dark blue water separating the jagged cliffs of Iran from the Arabian Peninsula. But this is the Strait of Hormuz. It's only 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. Through this tiny bottleneck flows 1/5 of the entire world's oil consumption. For decades, the global economy has hummed along, assuming this artery would always stay open. We were wrong. On the water, the silence is broken by fire. Massive steel leviathans, tankers carrying millions of barrels of crude, become targets in a high-stakes game of shadows. A single explosion against a hull sends a message clearer than any diplomatic cable. As oily black smoke rises to obscure the sunset, it creates a literal eclipse over the global markets. Imagine the scene in the silent war rooms. The monitors pulse with red warnings. A spike on a financial graph isn't just a number. It's a signal of impending catastrophe. When the first reports of a blockade hit the wires, the reaction is instantaneous. In the heart of London and New York, the financial districts descend into a cold, calculated panic. People stare up at glowing red stock tickers, watching the wealth of nations evaporate in real time. This isn't just a market correction. It's the sound of the world's engine seizing up. The world is beginning to realize the tap has been turned off. In Tehran, the shadows are long. This is no longer a protest, it's a mobilization. From high balconies, leaders look out over vast, shadowy crowds draped in flags fluttering in an ominous wind. Deep underground, in concrete bunkers lit by harsh red emergency lights, the tools of modern defiance are being readied. Missile batteries are pointed toward the sea, their digital terminals blinking, armed in the darkness. But the most dangerous weapon isn't the biggest one. They are cheap, they are numerous, and they are waiting for the signal. The response from the West is equally massive, a silhouette of nuclear-powered diplomacy. A U.S. aircraft carrier slices through rough, dark waves under a bruised purple sky. It's a floating city, a fortress of steel designed to project power across oceans. Jets launch into the stormy horizon, their afterburners tearing through the dark. In the cockpits, pilots are bathed in the faint blue and red glow of tactical displays. The final argument is being prepared. In a quiet room, a weathered hand opens an aluminum briefcase. The keys are ready. The world is one heartbeat away from the unthinkable. Night falls, but the sky doesn't stay dark. It ignites. The swarm launches, hundreds of drones streaking from desert trucks, leaving glowing red exhaust trails across the pitch-black sky. On the decks of warships, radar screens become a chaotic mess of moving red dots. The battle for the sky begins not with a shout, but with the mechanical hum of thousands of engines skimming just meters above the oily waves. Then, the interception. Golden tracers from anti-aircraft guns stitch a deadly embroidery across the heavens. Stealth F-35s soar high above the clouds, bathed in the crimson light of a dying sun, dropping smart bombs on coastal defenses. Massive digital flashes bloom across satellite maps, each one representing a radar site or a missile battery silenced. But for every drone shot down, 5 more take its place. The air defense net over the cities becomes a spiderweb of intersecting missile trails. It's beautiful and terrifying. Debris falls from the sky like burning snow over silhouetted urban landscapes. On the water, destroyers evade near misses, the ocean erupting in violent white plumes. It's a symphony of CIWS fire and exploding steel. The Tehran Knot isn't just a metaphor anymore. It's a physical reality of tangled fire and wreckage in the most important waterway on Earth. While the battle rages in the Gulf, the rest of the world begins to go dark. In Rotterdam and Shanghai, the massive cargo ports, the cathedrals of modern trade, stand frozen. Giant cranes look like skeletons against a foggy, silent sky. Millions of shipping containers filled with the products of our modern life sit abandoned. The global supply chain hasn't just slowed down. It has suffered a massive systemic stroke. In the cities, the blackout arrives in waves. Entire blocks plunge into darkness as power grids, starved of fuel and hit by cyber attacks, begin to fail. Panic buying leaves shelves bare. In the streets, the investigative mystery turns into a gritty reality. The stock market apps on cracked smartphones show nothing but jagged red lines crashing into the floor. We return to the bunker. The final act of the drama is played out in a room where the only light is the harsh red glow of a giant screen. People fight over the last cans of food in the dim light of flashlights. This is the price of a globalized world when the connections break. A lone figure sits in a cold apartment, illuminated only by the faint blue glow of a laptop, watching red emergency flares burn in the distance. The fracture lines on the global map are spreading outward from the Middle East, symbolizing a collapse that no border can stop. World leaders, reduced to silhouettes, gathered around a long table. There is no more room for strategy, only consequences. An aluminum briefcase sits open. A trembling finger hovers just millimeters above a mechanical red button. The countdown begins. 10, 9, 8. This is the edge of the abyss. But then, silence. The Strait of Hormuz, once the center of a firestorm, is now eerily quiet. The water is an oily, motionless black. Debris, life vests, charred metal, fragments of drones, float silently in the still water. This wasn't just a war, it was an ending. The Tehran Knot, tied for good.